J'ai passé les vacances à mettre au point un nouveau programme de Quidditch. On va s'entraîner plus tôt, plus dur et plus longtemps. Qu'est-ce que... Ah, ce n'est pas croyable.
For me, it was very simple because I started working when I was very young and, well, obviously, even younger than that. And so I already had an agent in London when Harry Potter was casting. So for a lot of most of the kids playing pupils, it was this really long, arduous process of going to like big open casting calls and then they get narrowed down further and further. And I think some of them had like anything up to sort of 10 recalls. I went in and met Janet Hutchinson, the casting director, for 10 minutes and read and had a little talk with her. And then a week later went and read a couple of scenes with the director, Chris Columbus, and the producer, David Heyman. And then like the next day got offered the part. It was one of the easiest jobs I've ever got. No, first, second, and the last I am in there, but you need to have a magnifying glass to see me.
Come on!
And in actual fact, when the way we first filmed it, it was supposed to, the flyby was supposed to be right, like kind of right in the foreground. And then they realised that actually, I think perfectly reasonably, the most interesting thing about the shot is that it's this fantastic aerial shot of Hogwarts where you can see the whole, and there's fire and stuff because the battle's ongoing. So they just digitally took the actors on the broomsticks and just put them like small so that they just, you see the castle and they just fly past it like much, much further away. And so you need to have hawk eyes to see me. Not for the first or second, but for the last film. The moment in the books when Wood and Neville are carrying Colin Creevy's body. We felt it was quite different from how it happens in the books, but we filmed a sort of version of that on second unit one day, but which never made it to the cut. So that was the only thing. That was the only proper scene that I ever did that ended up getting cut. But you know, there's just they filmed so much stuff, and at the end of the day, you got to edit it into a story that makes sense. So that's fine. I mean, that was probably one of the things that I've done that's more similar to Harry Potter in terms of the experience, because it was very well funded. There was an incredible cast of kind of legendary British actors and stars of, you know, like of three generations kind of thing. Obviously, my part in that was a lot bigger than my part in Harry Potter. So I was like, it only took a month to film, but I was in every day. Whereas Harry Potter takes a year to film, and I'll be like in for a day or in for a week, and then 2 weeks off, and then come back. So it was much shorter, more intense. But I mean, the job is the same at the end of the day. You know, you just have to get through all the technical things that are happening and try and just make it true. I know that Glasgow University might have 2 Muggle Quidditch teams, and certainly there are teams in Edinburgh and teams all over the place. But no, I've never actually been to a match, and so I've certainly never played it. It's not even so much that it's a risk, because I just know I would be terrible at it, and then that would be really embarrassing, you know. So you know, I try not to. Yeah, I guess that's a lot actually, and my answer is always the same, which is I'd like to play Tom Riddle. Partly because I did actually kind of play him for a minute, because when we did the read-through, the table read for the second film, Christian Coulson hadn't been confirmed yet to play Tom Riddle. So David Heyman called me up and asked me if I would read in the part. So that was just brilliant fun, sitting with all those great actors getting to kind of put on a different voice and tune the scenery. I don't know. I mean, they just nailed the casting of all those old wizards and stuff, and like almost everybody just did it in a way that was so perfect that it would be just impossible task to try and redo it. You know, like you just end up doing something different for the sake of it, and I just don't. Yeah, I just didn't want to touch it. The ones that I really like, I don't know if I'd want to kind of go on the inside of them and see how the sausage is made, if you understand that expression. The good thing about Harry Potter was I was sort of in it before I even really understood what it was. So it wasn't like something that had been like genuinely magical for me as a kid, which I then kind of saw from the other side. I mean, there are plenty of franchises that if I was asked to be in them, I'd be delighted to, but there are none that I kind of sort of desperately want to be part of. You know, I mean, my favourite thing growing up was Ghostbusters, but I don't know if I would want to do it, you know, to be part of it, because then it would sort of rob me of some of the magic of it, I think. I mean, it was sort of what I expected, and that was because even though I didn't come to these things for a long time, I knew about them. You know, you still can't miss how big a part of the culture Harry Potter's become. So yeah, I wasn't surprised when it came and it was so huge, because I knew that.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Sean.
No problem, thank you.